Nā koe.
Materia too, right?
Nā koe, Mr Speaker. Kia ora koutou katoa, kia koutou huri noi te whare tēnā koutou. I te tūtahi ka mihi au ki te Ngatikahu ki Whangaroa tēnā koutou katoa. Kei aku nui, kei aku rahi e te ti e te tā tēnā koutou katoa. Ka tū au ki te tautoko I tēnei I pere nā te iwi o Ngatikahu me tōna whakataunga tiriti, anō reira, he mihi nui kia koutou katoa. So the Green Parties will be supporting this bill through all its stages. It is a small settlement in the scheme of settlements, but it's still been hard fought for by those who have been doing the work. So others have a great deal more knowledge than I do about the iwi and the hapu and the whānau connections in relation to this bill. But I do want to address the controversy that arose out of this legislation around Stony Creek Station. There has long been in settlement bills, especially in the early days, less so these days, real issues around the recognition of hapu and the Crown criteria for who they will deal with. And the Minister has talked about the mandated iwi, and I acknowledge that that is the case with the process as it is. But that doesn't mean that that process delivers justice to all of those who have had their land taken or stolen by the Crown and who are entitled to justice through the settlement process. And so there are a number of settlements that are controversial within the iwi and hapu themselves. And the issue for me as a legislator is how do we make sure that the process that is used to deliver justice through these settlements does not in itself create further injustice, does not risk modern raupatu. And that is a question that has been considered often in the debate in this House, but not often enough in the review of the settlement process that does at times create an injustice that cannot be resolved, that is exacerbated by the legal process, but not resolved by the legal process. And so I think that that is in effect what is happening here, that there is genuine controversy around Stony Creek Station, that there was an occupation of that land over a long period of time by people who felt that they were having their land taken from them through the settlement. Now, whatever we may think, anyone may think of the individuals involved or the nature of that occupation, occupations by whānau, by hapu, by iwi, have been one of the only tools that they have had to demonstrate their connection to that land and their heartache at having that land taken from them. And it is occupations, actually, that have led to justice being achieved in many of those cases. It was occupation of Bastion Point that led to the resolution of Bastion Point. So the history of occupation has to be taken seriously as a means by which people who have no other legal opportunity, do not have the financial resources to buy lawyers, do not necessarily have access to members of Parliament who will advocate on their behalf, as the only tool often that they have to assert their mana over the land that they believe was wrongly taken from them and should be returned. So I'm concerned, sir, that the issue for Ngatikahu is not trivialised in this debate. It is a very real risk that in the passing of the settlement bill, we are enacting a modern day raupatu. And that we must, if we're going to pass this bill, and the Green Party, we support treaty settlement bills because we know how hard fought for they are, and that there must be some restitution for the losses that iwi Māori suffer. But if we're going to pass it, we need to pass it knowing that. Because knowing that means that there will be another day when we have another opportunity to remedy the wrong we may be committing today. So we can't do this without acknowledging that it's going to come back at some point and somebody is going to have to deal with it. Maybe us, maybe those who come after us. And in acknowledging that, recognising that Ngāti Okiwa in this case and other iwi and hapu in other cases of settlement controversy have the right to have their injustices, their thefts of their land acknowledged and treated seriously in this House. So, Sir, it's very important to us that we continue to review and reflect on the treaty process itself to make sure that at every possible step it does not exacerbate harm, that it does not cause more raupatu, that we are not continuing to cause harm to iwi Māori, to hapu and to whānau. And that is why we have always said the full and final aspects of these settlements is what we write in the law, but we can never have a full and final settlement of the treaty. The treaty is an ongoing conversation. It is an ongoing issue, and it will be so forever because this is a colonised country. And we cannot pretend that is not the case. These settlement bills are one tool that we are using in the process of delivering genuine fertility justice over time. And it is a tool that has its failings, it has its advantages, but it is just one tool in the ongoing process of honouring te tiriti o Waitangi. And that is why the process for these settlements must be under constant review and reflection to make sure that they are not causing more harm. Unfortunately, I don't think that happens, that we actually are on a journey with these settlements. There is a process that is underway, that process is rolled out, and there isn't actually that much wiggle room. We know that iwi don't get really a chance to reassess, for example, the value of these settlements. We know that the mandating process is pretty much set in place. We know that the large natural groupings approach is pretty much set in place for the moment. But let's not forget that all of those criteria for how these settlements occur are not criteria established by Māori. They are criteria established by the Crown and are rolled out because of the precedent of having done it now so many times. That doesn't make it just. It doesn't make it the right process. It just makes it the process we're using today. So, Sir, I want to genuinely acknowledge those who have worked very hard to get this settlement and get some resolution for the loss by this iwi. And I want to acknowledge all of those who have fought and lost today their fight for justice, for their losses as well. And never let us trivialise the fact that sometimes we are causing harm in the process of trying to deliver justice to others. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.